In this video, we're going to walk through the workflow of creating an appointment for a walk-in patient or donor at our occupational health testing clinic. Over here, we are brought over to the patients page. This is where we would start by adding a patient. I will click on Add Patient here. The two required fields for these patients are just their first and last name, but if we want to be able to pre-populate information on any clearance documents or forms that need to be filled out, we would best fill out all of or as much of this as we can. In here, I'm just going to add the first and last name, so I'll call this person John Smith. Sorry. And I'll go ahead and I'll create the patient. What happens when we create the patient is we're brought over to the patient's profile here, and we can see the list of appointments that a patient may or may not have. I'm going to go ahead and add an appointment in here for this patient. I could choose single booking or multiple bookings, or for any other reason or type. This won't make a difference with regards to the appointments that we're allowed to book, but it does make a difference if we are to issue a clearance letter or something. I'm just going to go and select multiple bookings in here. Here we have a list of options. In this case, we're going to say this is a walk-in, so this will be handled right at our already defined clinic. So we click on that, and maybe we only require about 3 different assessments. So we'll do drug and alcohol, fit for work, and then hearing fit. Now we will go over to services, and we have the drug and alcohol. So we'll choose the service for drug and alcohol. We'll choose the top one up here, and then we'll go over to our dates. In here, we already have one person booked in, so this is not available to us in this room, but we might have another room or area available where this could be performed. So what we'll do is we'll put that over here at 9:15 in our nurse medical room. Perfect. Now we're brought back to our services page to select a service for our fit for work. So we'll look at our fit for work. We'll choose an assessment here. And now we can see John Smith is already booked at this appointment in this room, so we will book them over here. They're actually not booked in that room. They're booked in a different room, but they are booked at that time, and that is the only room available to perform that particular appointment. Now here we have a hearing fit. So we might say combo here, and we'll go to our dates, and we can see which rooms are available to handle this hearing fit. So we'll keep John in this room here for 9:45. Okay, so we booked all 3 appointments. Now what we can do in here is we can provide additional details if necessary. One, we could provide a reference number for any of these appointments, which is probably not required for a walk-in, but may be required if you work with an organization and you're handling their workers. Additionally, we can provide other instructions for this appointment or make modifications as we see fit. So here we can add an appointment instruction, or we can add group instructions, which would apply to all of the appointments within this group of appointments in here. If we need to provide any documents up front, we can provide some documents up front if required. But in here, I'm satisfied with everything, so I would just click send confirmation email, or I would close this out. In this case, sending a confirmation email won't do anything because we don't have an email provided. So we will leave that as such in there. Now, what we'll do is we'll go over to our clinic to perform this appointment or to take care of this appointment. And so we can see that we have 4 appointments scheduled in here. First thing we're going to want to do when John Smith shows up is click on their profile and mark them as the patient having arrived in here. From here, we can process various aspects of the appointment. We can get a clear overview of the instructions that were provided, any services that we are to perform for this appointment, any documents and forms and notes, etc. But I will go through that in a separate video.